Alright, yeah, welcome. It's been a while since I streamed the last time. It's been even longer since I streamed Minecraft. But it's exactly 6 years ago today, so I had to stream today. Right? I'll be streaming again more often. Um, but yeah, it means I can show off things that happened. Um, let's have a sleep first. I'll start with the first thing that happened. And for that, we need to go to that building. This was our base last time. The building is still here, but all the chests... Oh, not this one. Not this one. All the chests are empty. Except for some shulker boxes that I forgot and a little bit of stuff. Oh, and a lot of fuel. Oh, I could use that. But otherwise, in the storage room here, everything is gone. Right, I'm hoping this is empty. Well, there's a little bit. This used to be the storage room. And then up here, this was the project room where, you know, if you return from somewhere, you come here and you have your inventory full of coral and fish and stuff. You come here, you drop everything off, right? You open your enter chest. That. Oh, I have one here. You open your ender chest, you pick out the boxes, you empty them out in the chests, and you can, take things and use them and try them out. And then there's a bed, because sometimes you're busy up there, but actually the bedroom was here. Never decorated more than that. But I do believe we have a book. Yeah, look at that. But it hasn't been updated to the last day, because December 22 we were doing the sewer. Oh, so the ink farm was there already. The banner shop. The steak farm, that's downstairs. There was a sweet berry farm. Oh yeah, it's still there. Creeper farm is still here. The zero-tick technology doesn't work anymore, so the building is still there, but it's essentially empty. Building the house, carpet duper. Yeah, we have a carpet duper in the basement. We got animals. That's not important anymore. Savannah Town beds. Oh. Yeah, okay. So the savannah, but that's for another time. What I'm not going to do today is one big world tour, because I'm gonna be busy 3 hours then. If I want to do that, explain everything, it's a 3 hour journey. I just don't have 3 hours, but there is a savanna biome somewhere where I used to work a lot. There is a town there, and they probably needed beds. Brown, yellow, green dye. I've never done that. I was going to add a creeper head on top of the creeper farm, and I've just never done that. But okay, let's put the book back where it came from. So this is the building. This was the storage. I think there's nothing left. Yeah, I took everything. But this was where everything happened. We had a little tree farm over there with all the trees that were in the game at the time, and we can actually look at it this way. This is journey map, so we can have a look. This is the house. This is the creeper farm. It's a diamond water dispensing farm. We can have a look at it in a minute. This is a tree farm with all the trees that we had at the time when I moved here. And this was my base for a number of years until I decided I wanted a new base. And Izuma announced his... Now, it must have been during Hermitcraft 10, because that's where this is based on. He was building his storage room, and I thought, that's a good idea. I want that as well. We'll have a look at it in a minute. There's a beacon. There's a frog farm because frogs came out. I wanted to make some. This is a sweet berry farm with foxes. This is going to be a melon and pumpkin farm, and there's an ice farm over here. That's actually everything here. This is not where we have the farms. The zero tick building was here, but it's not working anymore. This is the steak farm that was in the text. But this is a little playground. We can do things here. We're going to build aesthetic things here, but I'm not going to make farms here anymore. And I also am not... I always return here. This is, you know, the base where I go to other places. This is not where I am all the time. So, yeah, let's go inside. Where do we go? We go here. There's a little elevator going down. And I came to have a look just a little bit earlier. Just to see, is everything... You know, let's go have a look at things. This needs to be decorated and stuff. But this is the creeper farm that actually only has spiders in it right now. But yeah, so that's just going to spectator mode. So what happens here? You saw where I'm going. Come on, fall down. No. Right, there's a clock up here, and that's actually the diamond of where the farm is, I think. Yeah. And then the farm goes down, there's a dispenser dispensing water, and then creepers and spiders should fall. And then they fall down here and actually should be damaged. So that's probably changed because this weird light bugs, because as you can see around it there's light. Maybe somewhere in the future we can fill this in and then just, or I'm not sure. Let's go back to survival mode. And let's jump over. We have a crystal here, but I came to have a look. I harvested. And then if we go over to this side, I've been mining here for quite a while. And I do find trapdoors left and right that I can't believe I put there, but yeah, long lines. Oh, you can see it on the map, where we mined just in a very long line to yeah, to get stuff, stone, minerals. I had a basalt and a cobblestone farm here, and I was going to do a stone farm, but just that hasn't been done yet. This is the storage for the mine, just a little room off to the side, smelter. You put stuff in, it smelts. It's just coal because that's what we have here. Yeah, I first put up a little basalt maker here, but then I decided, nope, I'm gonna put it there. And then came deep slate, because this mine was at bedrock. Then came deep slate, made the mine deeper. You know, there's some lava lakes here, storage, and then we have, yeah, long lines of, of mining. And then if we follow one, or I should say, if we follow the last one, mining deep slate is not very much fun. But then you get here, and there is a huge amethyst thing. I mined out everything until we had just this. The lines that are here are just exactly perfect to mine everything. But we're not gonna do it now. But yeah, this I may make an automated farm out of. May. And then if we continue over here, you can see more of those lava, I should say baths or pools. And then we get into the beacon. But if we go out here, we have a new basalt farm. We have a rail duplicator. We have a space to plant, you know, mushrooms. And then in this corner, we are at bedrock, by the way. In this corner is a dripstone farm, and let's just activate this. And just let's go. It's happened. And then actually, if you want to speed it up a little bit, you know, just take it out, because it's let's grab them all, because otherwise it just takes too long. And then they go again, and then we can switch it off. Yep. Off. So we put it in Oh, that's why it didn't go. Okay. Anyway, this is a giant pit all the way down to bedrock. And everything that you see is redstone and floors and stuff. Let's go have a look. There's nothing here. Wow. But then you enter the central storage room. So we have actually an ender chest system like Izuma had. And then we have some colored blocks, bottles and potions, books, unstackables. They are sorted here. This is... I don't think there's anything in there. Oh. Oh. I didn't know this. Okay, so there's something in there. Then this is where you add items for bulk storage. This is the bulk storage. You add them here so that you can omit this section, right? And it goes immediately into the bulk storage. And then here you add shulker boxes. There's chests here, lots of them. There's shulker boxes with shells, just so that you can fill it up. This means the system is full because there's boxes there. Yeah, some of the items that you get in bulk, although not actually. So we could replace that with something else. If you go mining, there's a lot of granite and diorite and andesite, and I should make them empty because they're going to be full. But then usually I add a chest here or a barrel so that I can put more in. Then we have some, you know, random stuff, spider eyes, dripstone, spider eyes from the spider farm that we have at the tree farm. I mean, most of these come from bartering, and there's one that isn't full. But, you know, all sorts of things. And then more storage that isn't completely ordered just yet, which we still need to do. So one day I'm going to pull everything out, organize blocks, or everything. I'm not going to pull everything out. I'm not going to pull these out. I'm not going to pull these out. But most of them, this section, I'm just gonna pull everything out and then put it back in. Yeah. There's more storage because you have a lot of stone. We don't need a stone generator. There's enough of them. A cobblestone, yep. Just digging the pit down to bedrock gave us all these resources. Deep slate, cobbled deep slate. What more? Gravel, fish, the prismarine stuff, this prismarine stuff, and just more storage because it just, you know, you need more of it. And then we come to here. This is the upgrade hall. Corridor. Yeah. This we've actually done. So the sign can go away. We have a Gastier farm. I don't need to have a showcase for it. It's the one that Ito made in Hermitcraft season 10, I think. So it's not difficult. It looks like the one that Egg made in season 11. So that's a good one. Then I was in 119 when I wrote these signs. So 120 we get a camel. There's a camel. I have a camel. A netherite upgrade, smithing templates, music discs. I'm still working on the music discs. And then armor trims. I have the armor trims. Trial chambers. I'm busy with a trial chamber. Bundles. I've not used bundles just yet. Essentially, bundles would be... This is how Izuma uses bundles, and he's the one that uses bundles. It's this one. It's the VIPs from this box. There's a crafting bench and a saw blade thing, and maybe a smithing table and a grindstone and a furnace and what else? Maybe an anvil. That's what he puts in, and then he says, "Well, this is very useful." But what you need the bundle for is to make this emptier. That's a stack, this is a stack, that's a stack, that's a stack, this is a stack, 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 tools. And also, all of them are stacks. There's nothing that goes into the bundle. I'm sorry. So, I thought about it, and I decided, yeah, not yet. Creaking, I have a design for a creaking farm. We went to a pale biome garden. I have pale oak, I have the pale moss, I have the eye blossoms. When we go to the garden shop, we'll see about that. So that's good. I have the pigs, cows, and chickens. I mean the cold and the warm ones. We have the wildflower, the firefly bush, the bushes, the cactus flower. I have a farm for that. Dry grass, leaf litter. We've got all that. I have dry ghasts because we have a bartering farm. That's for the dry ghasts. I have the tears. I'm not sure I have the tears disc. If I have it, it's probably only one. I do not have the lava chicken disc. And then shelf. Yeah, I've used shelves one time in the bartering farm. We'll get there when we look at it. And also I need to upgrade the storage for that thing, because now it's a shulker box loader and I want to have real storage in there. Nautilus armor, I have some netherite HRS spear. I have no idea. Okay, we'll look at it. I do not have a camel husk. I do not have a nautilus. I do not have a zombie nautilus or a coral nautilus. And I also do not have a zombie horse. Those are still new. I have books here with... Okay, this is going to blow your mind. I've written all the items that have ever been added in Minecraft. So they're all in these books. It's 100 pages. That's because page 100 is 121.4 with all these items. Pale oak pressure plate, pale oak button, pale oak hanging sign, pale oak sign, pale oak slab, pale oak stair, pale oak planks, stripped pale oak wood, pale oak wood. You start speaking weird when you do this. But I was at page 19 because I'm not sure. Let's put it back. And then in 26.2 we got cinnabar, polished cinnabar, potent sulfur. Ah, wait a minute. Oh yeah, and then sulfur, stairs, wall, slab, and so on and so on. The sulfur cube, a bucket of sulfur cube, and then so I have everything in here. The idea is we're going to collect everything. Um, so I have to write down what there is. And yeah, if you use the page number to go to a different page, it doesn't remember what page you went to. You have to go with the arrows to go back to the page you were. I don't know why that is, but now it remembers 19. Yeah, so it's on page 19. It's on page 19. It's on page 19. If I type 32, we go there. 1.2.4 birchwood planks. I go out, I go back in, page 19. Okay. So, and this is the all blocks project. We have all the blocks here, and I want to have a barrel of every item, or a shulker box in the barrel with all the items. Unless, if it's impossible, I'm not going to collect 27 stacks of sponges. I have 3, 4, 5 stacks, 6 maybe. It's enough. I have some. I don't even like them. But yeah. But if we can, like, this is possible. So I'm going to do that. These are already here. The sand is here. This is possible. We have the lakes. Water, of course, is possible. Just get 27 buckets. These were actually the 6 first items. Dirt, cobblestone, grass, stone, planks, and saplings. Yeah, no trees, but there were saplings. And we had oak planks, but not the wood. The wood was added here. And I assume the leaves. Yeah, the leaves as well. So, yeah, this is at the base of... I'm building a farm for something because I need the item for this project, or I want the item for another project, or if I decide let's go get a barrel of what is this, dandelion, let's just make a farm for flowers, and then we get all the flowers, So yeah, that's this project. And then if we go back, this is the sorting system. We can talk about that another time. Stairs going down because you need to be at the bottom. What's more, there's a little room with composters and the cooking equipment, and then it's empty. Well, it's empty, but you can see that over there's a sign, because the updates go all the way there. So I have a little room for every update, or every group of updates, because there's sometimes updates where there's 1 block or 2 new blocks or 3 new blocks, and then the next update there's 5 new blocks. That's just 8. We can put them together in one little room, and then and then add another one, and then the next update, there's 3 updates with just 4 or 5, 8 blocks, and then the next one, suddenly there's 20 new blocks. So that's when I decided, okay, this needs a new room. But it does actually go all the way there, and I don't know what the sign says. But if we go upstairs, and there's multiple stairs. First, I made a brewing room, so if I need a potion, it's actually probably already here, or I can brew it. And we have a book for how do you make the potions. So if you want a fire resistance potion, you need to add magma cream. It's 3 minutes, but if you add redstone, it's 8 minutes. Right? Regeneration, you need a gas stair, it's 45 seconds, but if you add redstone, it's 130. If you add glowstone, you get a regeneration 2 potion, and it's 22 seconds. And the same for all the other. I went to the wiki, I took them all, I put them in this book as short as possible. So for strength, you need a blaze rod. It's 3 minutes long. If you add redstone, it's 8 minutes. You add glowstone, it's a strength 2 potion, and it's 130. So what's in the book? That's in the book. We have everything here to brew. There's a brewing stand with water, with blaze powder, with what's supposed to be in there. Oh yeah, you put your ingredients in, and then it cooks. There's a little bit of nether wart and water and bottles from the witch farm, all the other stuff. And then there's a space for enchanting with everything you need already stacked in here. Here is sugar cane and probably leather, and then there's books in here, all sorts of books, stuff that I enchanted one time or that I got from somewhere, and I just dump them here. If you need a book, this is where you find it. And then these are from bartering. It's is it soul speed? It's 1, 2, and 3. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Just to, you know, get in there. That's everything. There's all sorts of stuff. If I need something, I'll come and look for it. I tried to make this look a little bit, you know, better. Have it be handy and able to do things. We have bottles of enchanting because I've changed. I can't actually show. I have a data pack so that you can use a bottle to get XP from the enchanting table. So that's a good one. And then if you move around the corner, there is what do we have here? This is for the eat everything advancement. But this is also a good room to store food items. And the eat everything advancement, a balanced diet. I've eaten all these. Except for one. So I should have one. Let's do it now. We should get the advancement. Yay! And then we can take the book. Put a V. And then if they change the game and they add something, we can add it. And then while we're here, these are all the suspicious stew. If you add an allium, you get fire resistance for 3 seconds. Uh, this is, I mean, saturation for 0.35 seconds. It's nice, but what do you do with a potion for 5 seconds? It's very good, but I wanted to write it down because maybe it would be interesting. These are all the discs I have at the moment. Did I say which one I have? I did not. But this is a list of all the is it actually goes to 121.6, so there's at least one missing or two. Killed by skeleton. With the skeleton stray, a creeper drops these. Okay. Buried treasure. That's these. Then the bastion remnant is big step. Ancient city. You find other side or 5. In trial ruins you can find relic. In trial chamber you can find precipice, creator, music box. And then there's an advancement. Play a disc in the meadows. Oh, I haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna look at it, see if we can do it. This is the armor stand, so we have elytra and all the armor and tools. Whenever I find stuff, or we gather them from anywhere, I'll just bring them and store them here. One item in the barrel, so you don't have to in the shulker box. That's it for here. That's actually everything. There is a floor higher with arrays of smokers and blast furnace and furnace. And then over on this side, this is why I want storage in the bartering soul speed in the bartering farm, because I don't want to do it here anymore. And Impulse SV made a tutorial for a storage solution to do exactly this. This won't be possible, and this won't be possible. But it's good if they're already in a box. I'm happy. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Or even if the boots and the books are mixed, I'm already happy. Just it's good if these are sorted and these are sorted and this is sorted because I'm putting them down there and I'm running around, and yeah, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. But I promised a mud farm, and let's go there. The mud farm is over there. And it'll come into vision right now. That's the mud farm. And I'm gonna start with doing something that you've not seen a lot in videos, but oh, I can't actually go there. Okay, wait, I'm coming over here, and I'm going to do this. We're going to spawn an Ito. There's Ito. He's going to man this farm because somebody needs to stay here, otherwise it breaks. And now we can turn it on, and moss farm starts working. This moss farm, the mango, it's a bigger one than Tango made. The current season of Minecraft. We switch on the stone generators. Let's have a little look at them. And actually the farm is now running, so we're going to spectator mode. So these are the simplest and unbreaking stone generators, and if they were ever to break, you literally lose, right? But this doesn't break. Alright. The bone meal comes here into this loop. Hold on. I need to switch on this lever. And stop collecting the bone meal. Yeah, so back into... so the bone meal goes until it's picked up, which is not back down. And that means that all these are full, the chest is full. So, you know, this has a buffer for should something go wrong, it can keep running for a little while. What actually happens here, the stone gets converted to moss. You can see that. Then that moss gets broken. And let's see something happening. Come on, do something. At least give us grass. Yeah, there's grass. But sometimes you get valley of sapling. If that happens, the sapling is going to the water washes away anything that's not sapling. If it's a sapling, it gets warm and it makes it. But it also converts the moss, which we it converts the moss into rooted dirt, which is what we need. But we also get oak wood from it. It's then pushed all the way down up to here, and then TNT falls, and it didn't break that block. TNT falls and it breaks the blocks. Yeah, that's one. Here now. But I want to collect all the possible blocks, so this is still rooted dirt. But there is a mud converter here, so it converts the rooted dirt into mud, and then it dries it out so that we get clay. That's what happens here, and then here it's I removed the dripstone, but you can add them, and you can also make the first one. You know, this can be all mud, all clay, or all rooted dirt, whatever you know, whatever you want. Oh, there we go. Did you design it yourself? Yes, because I wanted to use the last thing Ilmango did on YouTube, his mud farm, but it broke. And actually, it already broke in my single-player world, where I test, you know, things. But I built it on the server, and it broke even. That's why I'm saying this is a simple stone generator, because he had a complex stone generator with I don't know, a 7 pusher or something. It was crazy, but the timing was right, and it broke. And the second thing that broke was the conveyors. Because you merge, you can have 2 blocks at the same time. And he had the redstone version, which is also less or breaks more easily than the observer version. So I chose the observer version for everything. Yeah, we're also not going into a square to drop the TNT in the middle of the square. We're just lines. It's good enough. It works. But I did use the TNT dispenser from that mud farm. So if you want to build it, this is the TNT dispenser from that farm. Anything else, I just made anew. You see 2 water basins. This one is for the blocks, and it's right where the blocks fall. This one is for the moss, and actually we got greeted by a block of falling. Because the moss generation happens right above us, and a lot of blocks actually fall down. So, you know, what do you do if you discover that blocks are falling down? And, I mean, look at it. It's not just a block now and then. It's a nice tree. It's not a lot of them, but, you know, it's free. And then it just goes out to here. There is a, you know, an impulse sorter into a symbol room with chests. Yeah, just one got added. All sorts of stuff in here. Not everything is full chests, but yeah, I mean, this is free. This is free. The farm makes wood, so these are free. It's not a lot, but they're free. All this bone meal because that farm generates about double the amount of bone meal we need. So just that's why there are hoppers here. And I've also just stood here and collected them myself. So that's what happens. But let's go back into survival mode. Let's go back upstairs. We'll switch it back off. And actually, if you're here, you can hear that there's a lot of explosions. There's blocks all the time. Up again. So, is it a very efficient farm? I wouldn't say so. But you can AFK here. And what I tend to do if I have an AFK farm, I add farms around it that I have to do things in. So I'm going to make a creaking or a resin farm, like here or there or over there, so that we can come here, we can switch this on, and then we go there and, you know, whack the creakings. And Let's switch it back off. It keeps generating stone forever. The bone mealing, so the machine works on stone coming in, which means it will go on forever. But I switched off the moss farm, so there's no new bone meal coming in. So that's a problem, which is something we don't want. So switching it off is a good idea. And then what you can also do is just come here. Right. Make blocks. Maybe it was gone. It's not. We can make more. Yep, more. I think it might be empty now. So we make bone blocks. Do I have anything left? Oh, nothing left. And then we go into the storage. That's over here. And you just put it in here. There we go. But of course you want to see, like, how does it work? How's it made? I have a clay farm world. This is the clay farm. Dug out. So this is actually how it works. Right now. Is it working? It's not working. Is any of it working? It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, because the stone generator is switched on. Yep. So we switched them on. Right, this is the showcase version. So let's go here first. Here it's cut off, so you can look at it. Right, this is the rate at which it's actually going. So what's in here? It's just, you know, replace the block that's there right underneath, -1, with air, right? So delete this block. So you can see it's doing bone mealing. It's the shortest water stream that actually expands. To make it shorter, it doesn't expand. And it needs to be a chair so that it's safe to actually go in. And then the idea generally would be that you could have this be a stream and then put it somewhere. Except that work is full of like if it's just always observable. And you can see it pushes along and then let's switch this one off. What else can we say? what happens here? We have a dispenser full of water bottles with water and full of water bottles. Whenever a block gets changed here, as observed here, whenever it changes, it sends a signal through to activate this one. This is a sorter with glass bottles. So whenever one of these gets emptied, it gets pulled out, it gets pulled down, all the way down, then goes over to here. This rubber, which has a get it going, and then finally create it. This is a water stream going out, and then it flows out. No, it's not water. It's a solid item elevator. It comes out of the water, goes into this hopper, which goes into a dispenser, which has a clock as well. Why have I made it? Oh yeah, because I need to mixing. There's actually water in there, so it picks up the water into the bottle, drops the bottle, which gets picked up and put in here. So that's how this works. There's two lines on the bottom. There's only one elevator with dispenser because it doesn't have that much that you need more than that. Also, all of it is just working. So, yeah, and then of course making clay is easier. Dripstone blocks and dripstone pointing that dries it out. And then if we want to have a look at it like this, here it doesn't work because it counts oatmeal the amalia. But this is what it looks like here. This is the carrot. It has looking at the wall, there's an observer, and they set the computer, and the signal also goes down. Where it gets it again, and it goes in there, where there is there's a dispenser under the to do that, and there's also a piston there. We'll get back to it. So this sends the signal phone me on the block, and then there is a second line that goes to this block that also activates it, and then signal goes up for this one. We can have the water dispenser activated, and the second line has a repeater on it that goes up, and goes back. That's the line that activates the system just a little bit later, but it also gets activated right away. Yeah, and then if it picks anything up, there. That's that bumper. If it picks up anything, then it gets composted. It gets composted But I guess if you want to have this for a cobblestone generator, you can do it. That's all it's gonna give you, cobblestone. But stop this system. Activate the lever. You can mine the stones. Right? If you want to, you can do it. So yeah, that's just everything it's doing. Everything it's doing. And then it's bone milling the stone. Bone milling the... No, it's bone milling the moss block. Then it's bone milling the stone. And then it's bone milling the block above the stone. And it also washes away anything that's not an azalea sapling. Because we don't need them. Right, that's what you see here. And then that's it, I think. This farm is not running. Where the bone? Oh, there is no bone meal. Hold on. Let's switch it. Minutes. And we have the ability to put here. He's AFKing the farm. And then we should get bone meal again. Because I'm going to guess the hoppers are empty. Yeah, not. The hoppers are empty. Yeah, just a little bit. Yet I did not add. I added. We need to power this, or else it's not going to happen. Was it this one? And already 4. So I guess if you want to, you can add something to do this with one. You know, you can do that and these with just one flick of a lever. But it's a power. It's not not a signal. Keep that in mind. But I guess you can add something to do that with a button or a note block or something. So yeah, this is the farm you need. Let me take you to save and quit, single player. Let me take you to my regular playing world where I'm actually making the brewery here. Finally, and there's lots of IDs here and lots of systems and things, testing all sorts of stuff. But it's still a work in progress. So yeah, I don't remember everything. This is actually this might be 6, 7, 8 months ago. This was in the winter, yeah. This is months and months ago. But item elevators, but fast item elevators. Uh, Fast multiple item elevators. So this one without water. Fast multi-stream item elevator without water. This one. Um, we'll see it back when I go visit the gold farm. I wanted to do it like this first, with observers and droppers and redstone torches and stuff. That one is the better one. This is the good one. This is the one you want. Just a huge glass cube, observers in the bottom, droppers, hoppers going into them. Just one huge stream. It's the best system. But mud farm, another project. What's this? Ah yeah, this is the how do you explode items? Well, this way. And then how long should the distance be? Because we need that information. If the clock is down there, you need a line going up. But then, of course, there's lots of stuff going on here. It doesn't need to be this complex, which we see here. It's not that complex. It's just this. Yeah. Otherwise, this is the farm as we are using it. This is exactly what I have in my world right now. But there's an attempt at bigger moss farm, and then this is where I worked on separate ways to do everything, and this one is still different from the other one, and it had the stream going in there, and then we had a slightly different version, and then the idea was we'll push all the blocks down and we'll merge, and that goes wrong. So you need all this is for exact timing, so that it does left, middle, right, middle. All of that is the timing for left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle. You don't see everything. This stuff underneath. That's why I didn't want it. And then you're supposed to bring it together like this and then push it down. And I was working on it, and this already is difficult. And I said, we're just not gonna do this. And I made a new version over there, and just let's not do it. Let's forget it. This is not working. We'll do it that way. This can work if you have 4 nice streams of blocks coming in, and then you push it to the middle, and I'm not sure how they get powered, but these need to get powered as well. Um, so yeah, and then flower farm. Yeah. While we're here, let's have a look at a few other things. Um, I was playing with clay over here, but it just these were actually the first attempts. Is to just place um, dirt, have it go up into a block. This actually works, but then the water dispenser fails, and then you have blocks of um, dirt in there, and then it does actually dry out. But if you're really efficient, it doesn't dry out. So it needs to be bigger than this. And then yeah, if the water system fails, then it's not mud, which you can see here happened. And then here I have probably made it better so that it just doesn't fail anymore, and I made a good version for the mud farm. Um, the mud clay rooted dirt farm. Um, but then I built it. I didn't want to use them. This is the flower farm, and this is actually the one I built for real. And that is really good. I'll show it in maybe next week. What else do we have? This is Doc M's creaking farm that I just can't make better. So I'm not going to try. This is the one we're going to build. Including orange glass. Going to use orange glass. This is the version we're going to do. I'm not sure about the flames. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see about it. More flower farms. Over here, attempts at doing stuff, and then you know, this one is not good because if you have an array of you know, if this is a flower forest, there's 8 flowers in this section of grass. A minecart starts going, picks up 1 flower, 2nd flower, 3rd flower, 4th flower, 5th flower, no, seeds. It's full by the time it gets there. It's never going to pick up the flowers in the back of the farm. So this one, not good. That's actually the dripstone farm that we built. And then I made another one that is this where storage is underneath? No, I built storage underneath this one. Oh, it's bone meal dispensing. Yeah, we scrapped that as well. There was a rail for bone meal dispensing. That's not good enough. No, this is the rail for bone meal dispensing. This was an example rail for picking up the flowers. It's not good because, as I said, there's maybe 8 flowers. It picks up the first floor and seeds, and it's done. And so the back of the farm never gets harvested, and it just rots. So this isn't good. That's why in the farm I built on the server, we have this one. It picks up flowers in a little section, and actually it's aligned with the glass, so it picks up the items from a little section, which might be 2 flowers. And it also doesn't get, we're not emptying the cart, we're just breaking it and dropping it in a stream. Yeah. Now, what I can show here is how this farm actually, how good it works. Let's do this. Up. That's the normal operation. There's already a second batch. Stop. And a new batch. But we'll talk about it another time when I visit the garden shop. But yeah. And this is just a normal world where I test things, but we need to go to the brewery. Brewery's there. That's the last one I was working on, the brewery, to I want to make a complete automated potion brewery for all the potions. And it needs to be demand based. Which I mean, on one side of the brew there's a little shop. You walk into the shop, you say, oh, I want this potion. You grab a shulker box of potions, and the system says, we need to make this potion. Then it makes the potion. Which also means that all the hoppers are full, all the brewing stands are full, everything is full of stuff. That's how such a system works. And we'll see about it. And we have several things working here because this needs to go that way and that needs to go that way and this needs to work in this way. Different things. But yeah, the first part already. Is there something? Base powder. And yes, yeah. So this is already the first part. Because first we need an offer. We need to have that's already a part that I worked on. This was another way to try to get things working saying everything that's here now is the best way it can be, but this is a way it works. Maybe the best way, maybe possible to make things better, but we'll see that when we get it ready for put it on the server. But I need a lot more experimentation for this than what I needed for like our I need to have a whole system to block the hopper from taking the hopper from the brewery stand, because we don't want to take it if it's the brewing. So that's why the whole system here that releases the hopper. New potions will start brewing, and it doesn't release the hopper until probably a stack of items or something. Then it has time to brew. But, and I'm not sure that we're already there. The perfect way is have it so that it picks up the bones when it's ready for it. That it doesn't wait 2 seconds longer. I'm not sure that's done. I know the first requirement is done. It doesn't pick it up before it's done. Anyway, let's go back to the server. First, let's we kill Eco because we go back to our new base, and it should be just one record, one rocket. And then I should probably talk about this base for a second. It's black because I got inspired by the Deep Frost Citadel decked out too. So that's nice. Which wasn't the same colors, and which was the same type of dark building. But this is not going to be a building. I'm not sure what it's going to be, how it's going to look. For now it's a square, big rectangle form with a circle system. And actually, because you can see it on the map, right? There's the same amount of space on every side from the sorter to the edge. But there's no sorter on this side. This is actually three of the squares. So now we know if the sorter comes to there, then the sorter comes to here, and the sorter comes to here. No, 1, 2, 3, the sorter comes to here. That's actually how the size of this thing got, how I got the size of it. So, our thinking is this. We built the sorter, and then 3 squares stairs around it, and then but it's good because you have some space here and on the fifth floor. We have the furnace array, smelting array. So that's good. And then we can build more rooms so we can do things, and that, I don't know what to get, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build these up higher and higher and higher and higher, and just add rooms full of stuff, and do things, whatever, like we've been doing, already. But you can see there's still a lot of room, so we have space, and yeah. The bottom floor will be for the blocks, and then we'll see what we do. If we get to this corner, starting at that corner, if we do all this side with blocks and we're here, then I'm probably going to move to a higher floor, doing the same. But yeah, this is the new base. It's going to stay. Or yeah, that's actually it. I'm not going to tear down this house because it's nice. I like it. What the heck? Oh, yeah. You have to press the correct button. So the mud farm is here. This is the base. We have a lot of stuff over here. And then if I zoom out, there's the tree farm. There's stuff here, there's stuff there, there's stuff there, there's stuff here, there's something here, there's something there, there's nothing here. There's actually nothing here. And then there's stuff here, there's stuff here, there's stuff here. The end portal. This is the savannah. This is the savannah village. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that some other time. Today I wanted to talk about the new base and the mud farm, and we did. That's going to be the end of this stream. I'll see you back next time, which should be next week in the morning instead of the evening, so just a couple of hours earlier. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.